Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Hope with Larry Jones. Do yourself a favor and hit that like, subscribe, and the notification bell. As we had some technical difficulties here today, so I didn't think I was going to be able to get on. But listen, there's a lot going on with this market as it literally seesaws. All right, there's a lot to get into. Let's get right into it, shall we? So we got stock market today. Dow, S&P 500, Nasdaq fall after Fed fueled rally. After Fed fuel rally. Now there is a lineage of things that happens generally starting the day before an FOMC meeting. So it generally happens like this. It's generally negative, the market, if you've noticed, most times is negative the day before, and then the morning of, sometimes you'll have a reversal, and then it tends to go down when he releases his reports, right? And then there's usually a rebound if he's dovish, which he sounded dovish yesterday, right? And then the next morning there's another reversal. Well, we had that reversal this morning. Everything was negative. All of the indices were negative. The S&P, Dow, and Nasdaq, right? Then we had a reversal again at midday, right? And so you're going to see all these reports as of why. And the truth be told is they don't know why, right? They don't know why. But one of the things that I've learned is that after an FOMC meeting, I don't care how bullish or how bearish. I don't care how dovish or how hawkish the Fed sounds. It generally takes a good 48 hours for the market to decipher all of the data and everything that was said. Okay. So if you go to another page, it says stock market news, March 20th, 2025, U.S. stock market in lower after optimism over rate cuts warns, right? And so you're going to see a lot of different ones that's going to be telling you what's the reason, right? And none of them know. It's the same thing that's been happening every FOMC meeting. The market just needs time. Now, who's been making money? Short sellers. Short sellers have been making money. Look at that. Short sellers have already profited over 24 billion just from the Mag 7 in losses. So, if you know how to short stocks or you're doing puts on stocks, then you're winning, because the market keeps trending keeps trending down, and all because of the underlying is, the onset of war. You got two wars going on, but that's not the big deal. These wars have been going on, and the market has just been rallying, right? All of the end of 2024, we've had at the beginning of 2025, we had a market rally, right? So what's going on? Tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. So now here's what I want you guys to keep your eyes on, right? Amid India tariff threats, Trump calls April 2nd Liberation Day. Okay, urges rate cut after Fed pauses again. So he's calling April 2nd Liberation Day. Now, we need to be liberated from the pain that we see in our portfolios. He's calling it Liberation Day, and we'll explain why in a minute, because he sees the tariffs kicking in, and he sees us, the United States, or should I say the U.S., repositioning ourselves and positioning ourselves to win as a country, according to him. Now, he knows that the Fed could not lower interest rates yesterday. That is a cat and mouse game. He knows it. Scott Bessent is in his cabinet, and all of the Wall Street guys that are around him, he absolutely 100% knows that the Fed could not lower interest rates. Okay. And for those of you that don't know how this thing goes, don't just start talking or commenting out of emotions. Anybody that knows anything about the economy knows the Fed could not lower interest rates yesterday. Okay? These are facts, all right? So now, Tom Lee has something to say about April 2nd. Let's listen to him.
The other positive signs you're seeing for stocks this week? Well, I think that the sort of the big elephant in the room has been the absolute fear that has become systematic in markets around April 2nd and the tariff deadlines. And I think that there have been little hints this week that instead of April 2nd being the date of some sort of annihilation of trade relationships, that we may start to see either deals before then or even delays in implementation. And I think that really investors are going to breathe a sigh of relief because, as you can tell, pessimism has become very pervasive because of the fears of what will happen on April 2. So I think that's a positive. And then the other is, and it's really a technical perspective, but Mark Newton, our head of technical strategy, has pointed out there are increasing signs of that we've actually established a tradable bottom. And that's not only the fact that we declined so quickly, but it's that market breadth has really been expanding and then actually following through in a way that looks like this is not a 10% decline that's leading to a 20%, but a 10% waterfall decline / heart attack for stocks driven by rage selling, and now it's tradable.
So those.
So, so he's saying it's tradable. This is Tom Lee. This was earlier today. And that's why I've been buying some of the overall stock market. And I believe he has a point because on the onset of war, if you can go back in the history of wars or the onset of something happened like these tariffs, I'm sorry, I ran up to the, there was something finna happen and I had to run while that was playing. So I'm literally out of breath trying to play it off. You guys know I keep it real here, right? So if you look at everything that happens, that is suddenly hits the stock market, whatever the problem is, the market generally bottoms out before the problem is solved. All right. Look at COVID, right? Look at every single war. The market bottoms out before the war is over, like I've been saying over and over here. So remember, we've been rebalancing, and I know there was money to be made in options, just shorting it, but we've been rebalancing our portfolios because we have a ton of time for options, a ton. But at the end of the day, now's the time to be rebalancing and positioning yourselves, okay? And there's just a lot going on, and I just want people to be ready rather than I want you to make dollars later rather than make dimes now, okay? And so I want you to be leery of that. Let's listen to the end of this and see what else he's got to say.
A couple of big positives, kind of technical signs, maybe April 2nd, because I've seen that reporting too, where the White House evidently working with trading partners, trying to get some stuff dialed back before April 2nd and so forth. What else, Tom, do you see that encourages you?
Well, I'd say that probably the final thing that I've seen is, and this is really from our meeting with clients, is that we know there's actually quite a lot of dry powder. Many of our clients have raised a lot of cash. I mean, it's also evident in a lot of the money market balances or prime brokerage de-risking that's taken place. And it's at a time when investor sentiment has moved far more than is justified by the market moves. Whether you look at AAII or Investors Intelligence, both have registered recession-like readings and sentiment. And so it really creates the room for positive surprise. And that, again, I think like what you just said, if tariff headlines aren't as bearish and if there's all this last-minute work on negotiating something. And yesterday, there was a tweet about how into the night, Hessett and Lutnick and Bessent were, working on a trade deal. That got so little notice. I think it just tells me markets could be positively surprised.
So there you have it, good people. That's Mr. Tom Lee, and I believe that some of that is going on, and that he's going to be, wow, everything's running slow now. What is going on? All right, good people. I am sorry. I'm just going to leave it right there. Everything is running really slow on my end. It's time for me to get another computer, I think. Spent a lot of money on this one. But I'm just going to leave it right there because it's showing it's jittery here. I'm just going to get this up and just leave it like it is. All right, good people. I love you guys. Make sure that you hit that like, subscribe, and the notification bell. And make sure that you position yourselves and be ready just in case we have already bottomed out and there should be some stocks, all right, that you should be buying, or some ETFs that you should be buying, all right? Let me know if you think by April 2nd, all will be over. And if there's a deal with the tariffs by April 2nd, you're going to clearly see that you should have been buying when? Before April 2nd. So we could be in a range where we're buying. I've been buying, and I've been sharing with you guys what I've been buying, and I've been sharing in my money moves what I've been buying. Okay. And so let me know what you have been buying. I'm going to keep this one short. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.